Thank you for the introduction. Anabolic steroid use is a relatively new topic in the healthcare system that many clinicians are unaware of. And there is no consensus on how to treat those who develop side effects or needs help to quit. I work in the steroid project along with my colleagues Ingrid and Christina, which is a project located at Oslo University Hospital, but it's national, where we aim to make treatment of anabolic steroid users better and more accessible all over Norway. Today I'm going to present how we managed to get in contact with a group of steroid users with health problems using e-learning material in a social media campaign. In Norway, as one of very few countries, users of anabolic steroids have a right to receive treatment in the specialist health service for substance use disorder treatment and addiction. But few have actually sought such treatment. And we already know from international research, as Amanda also talked about, that this is typical for users of anabolic steroids in general, not just in Norway. Many do not need treatment, but for those who desire treatment, the reason for not seeking it could be a fear of stigmatization from clinicians, fear of meeting a low level of knowledge about anabolic steroids, fear of sanctions, as use of anabolic steroids is illegal in Norway, or they have sought treatment, but the clinician cannot or will not help, and some also believe that their side effects are not serious enough. To help overcome some of these barriers, we started an information service in 2015, where we provide users tailored individual information sessions covering steroid-related health problems, treatment options, and clarify any fears of sanctions they might have. Users who take contact will meet my colleague Christina, who knows very much about anabolic steroids. She's experienced in doing these sessions, and empathic, which is important as these users are in a difficult life situation. She conducts the sessions via phone or a personal meeting, and it's free and anonymous in the sense that no personal information is saved after the session. I don't have time to go into detail about this, but we have written an article about it, so if you're interested, you're more than welcome to read it. One of the most important findings from this study was that most users actually wanted treatment after having had an information session. But even though this seems to have worked as, call it, a barrier breaker for those who sought treatment, we didn't reach as many users over the years as we expected. And we suspected that many didn't know that we existed or that the treatment existed. So we got in contact with a group who specializes in social media, advertising, marketing, to plan a national social media campaign. Before I explain the ideology behind the campaign, I want to show you a short video of what the campaign looks like.
In 2013, use of anabolic steroids was banned in Norway. However, the use is still increasing, and today it has become a public health problem. Treatment for users and the next of kin is available in the public health system, but few were aware that it existed. The steroid project wanted to do something about that. Many people take anabolic steroids without anyone caring. But what would happen if we gave anabolic steroids to kittens? Would people react to that? The campaign was spread all over Norway, and the engagement was great. But we never actually gave anabolic steroids to kittens. Instead, on the campaign website, steroidlab.no, one could see what happens when people experiment with anabolic steroids. Previous users share their different stories.
begynte å bruke steroider når jeg var 21-22 år. Grunnen til at jeg begynte å bruke
Steroidlab.no also contain facts about anabolic steroids and treatment options. Oslo University Hospital used their own researchers to spread knowledge.
Anabole steroider kan påvirke vår tenkning, våre følelser og også vår hukommelse.
Content from the website was used in digital advertising.
Visste du at omtrent 1 av 3 som bruker anabole steroider utvikler avhengighet?
Og det det som at når du bruker steroider, så tror du at alle andre opptatt av kroppen din også.
Jeg kollapset hjemme. Jeg ble funnet på badet av min nåværende samboer.
The campaign is called Steroid Lab in English, because use of anabolic steroids is like an experiment. You will never know how your body and mind will react. So the goal of the campaign is to spread information about treatment options in Norway to ensure that those in need of help knows where to find it. And the use of kittens? The thought was to use something that would catch the attention of as many as possible. Kittens are popular on YouTube, but to give them steroids, well, as we aimed for, it did actually engage a lot of people, and we have had some angry mails from animal rights activists. But when people realized that the kittens did not actually get anabolic steroids, of course, many will lose interest. But hopefully we will have caught the interest of those in need of help, those who know someone in need of help, or those who might need help in the future. So, as you could see, the campaign is based on a website containing very little text, but many different videos. We have user stories that we call experiments on the website. We have research facts, where our own researchers sums up important findings very briefly. And research-based and informative animation videos. When we make these videos, we have some guidelines we always try to follow. Because many users have made a well-informed choice of using anabolic steroids, where they try to balance risks up against the desired effects. So to try to reduce the barriers to take contact and seek help when the risks outweigh the effects, and to try to appear trustworthy, we try to be very careful about how the content is presented. First of all, the videos need to tell the whole story. Anabolic steroids have a lot of desired effects. That's why so many people use them. Additionally, scare tactics are rarely successful. Therefore, we aim at being as neutral as possible in how the content is presented. We aim to avoid a judgmental and stigmatizing language. For example, we always say users or use of anabolic steroid, not abuse or abusers, because users don't see themselves as abusers. Additionally, we always collaborate with previous users when we make videos, other materials, plan research projects, because they are the professionals. And we want to know if the material is presented in a way that will be recognized, understood, and appear trustworthy by the target group. The most effective videos in the campaign have been the user stories, the experiments. And we believe that when we ask users to present their stories, they should always be anonymous if they haven't already been public with their story. Because there may be long-term consequences of sharing this kind of information. And we prepare them well before filming to make sure that this is something that they really want to do, follow them throughout the process of planning to publishing so that they own their stories. All of the videos are in Norwegian with English subtitles in most of them, I think. But we have actually just recently voiced 4 of our animation videos to English, and I would now like to show you one of them.
testosterone affects tissue in most of the body. Large doses of anabolic androgenic steroids therefore have a range of effects. The anabolic effects speed up protein synthesis in muscles, leading to an increase of muscle mass and strength, and a faster restitution time. These are the intended effects, but unfortunately, not the only ones. Anabolic steroids quickly throw our hormone systems off balance, leading to unintended side effects. Changes in hormone levels and fast muscle growth can lead to stretch marks. Tendons and their attachment points can't keep up with muscle growth, which can result in damages and scar tissue to both tendons and muscles. Rapid muscle growth can also lead to cramping and intense muscle pain. Oil glands in the skin are also stimulated, leading to excess oil production and large painful pimples. When adolescents use anabolic steroids in puberty, growth can be disturbed, with a serious risk for premature closing of skeletal growth zones. The result can be that adolescents' adult height is reduced by 5 to 10 centimeters. Use of anabolic steroids can also lead to salt and fluid retention, which is a risk factor for high blood pressure. High-intensity strength training, in combination with high blood pressure, puts pressure on the heart. Since the heart is a muscle, steroid use can also make the heart itself grow. This can be particularly problematic for the left chamber, which pumps blood out into the body. The heart's walls can also become thicker and tougher, which impacts the heart's ability to pump. Over time, this can lead to heart failure. We also know that steroids impact levels of cholesterol in the blood. Levels of good HDL cholesterol, responsible for transporting fat from tissues to the liver, are reduced, which can result in atherosclerosis and thereafter an increased risk for cardiovascular disease. Anabolic steroids can also be poisonous to liver cells because the liver can't properly break them down. The kidneys are also impacted when the hormone EPO is stimulated. This hormone impacts the production of red blood cells in bone marrow, which can lead to blood clots. These are some of the negative effects that male and female steroid users can experience. In addition, there are a range of sex-specific effects illustrated in another video. Anabolic steroids have individual effects and therefore different symptom profiles. Some report side effects quickly, while others experience few or only after longer periods of use. These variations depend on the type and dose of steroid used, genetic differences, and age of first use. In Norway, the Specialist Health Service, providing substance use disorder treatment, is responsible for this patient group and coordinating necessary health services. Want more information? You can contact the Steroid Project by email.
We made these animation videos because we couldn't find any similar videos on YouTube or anywhere else, and we wanted to be a neutral and scientifically based alternative to the bro science that users typically rely on. We're also able to use these in our e-learning and when we present this topic because they're short and informative. And I have uploaded them in the databank, so you're more than welcome to use them if you find them useful. To sum up the results of our efforts to connect with this group of users, the campaign has to date been a great success. In a country of just over 5 million people, we have over 1 million views of the videos on YouTube. The topic was put on the agenda in the national press. And the campaign has been nominated for 2 prizes, but the most important result for us was this. There has been a big increase in people wanting an information session after seeing the campaign. And the campaign started in April 2018, so you can see the difference there. Most of the information seekers are recreational users. They vary in age and how long they have been using, but most of them has experienced side effects, often both physically and psychological. And the psychological side effects are the most common reason for wanting treatment and help along the way, or treatment. Yep. And we have to say that this would never have been possible without the marketing. And if any one of you are planning to do something similar, Snapchat has actually been a very good and cheap platform to reach out, and also Facebook, where people tag each other in the videos. We're very happy to be here today to discuss e-learning and e-learning material for secondary prevention as we do, and primary prevention, as we believe that this is a very good way to reach out. There is still a long way to go before we will be able to offer effective and scientifically based treatment to anabolic steroid users in Norway and worldwide. And this is just a small step along the way. But in Norway, a large number of clinicians have become eager to learn more to be able to help this group of patients. And with more patients, we will hopefully also be able to do research on effective treatment models in the future, so that users of anabolic steroids with health problems or who needs help to quit receives the best possible treatment to help them on their way out of dependence and to a life without steroid-related health issues. Thank you.